joining us at home, welcome. I'm Late Night Lyle. Joined with me on the mic, Pinky. Don't you dare. I dare.
Hello, Lyle. I'm so excited to be here in snowy St. Louis.
I know, right?
What a terrible, terrible thing to wake up to.
It's beginning to look a lot like Derby. Woke up this morning with a nice fine powder of white on the ground.
Ice on the stairs, ice on the road. But all for the love of roller derby.
Lots of wrecked cars decorating the road. Yeah. Our first game saw Disorder win over Toronto, and now we're going to have Concussion, Battle of the Undead. We're going to get right to it. We'll probably go through rosters as soon as we get a little bit longer break, maybe at halftime.
I love an efficient bout, running on time here. Should be a good start for this weekend. We've got one more game this morning, and then we break for lunch. Oh, and I heard a whistle. We are ready with the Derby action here. Starting out, pack is pretty tight clusters. I believe that we've got jamming for the Undead, number 69, Shaggy, or 96, Shaggy.
Shaggy eats a hit from El Dorado. That's going to allow number 69, Dr. B, to find his way out and become the lead jammer.
Shaggy still trying to make work through. Fights one more. Blocker is out of the pack. But Dr. B hot on the heels of Shaggy. A little jammer on jammer action.
Trading a little paint there in turn one. Jam is going to end there. It's going to end off with Concussion posting 4 unanswered to the scoreboard to start the game.
I'm just checking out all the technology we've got here. If you are at home and you are watching us on the Twitch stream, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Pretty sure my mom is on and she's really confused because she's in Eastern time zone and I was telling her we're starting at 11. She's like, but 11 is already past, Pinky. Perfect. Alrighty, and jamming for the Undead, we've got number 10, All Kill, up against number 16, Juke, and Juke is your lead jammer for the Lane County Concussion.
Juke hoping to take that control, turn it into points for Concussion. Concussion in the black with green numbers. Undead in the white and red with largely black numbers.
Both jammers out of the pack, now in scoring position. Juke gets those last 2 points, pass, damn it, jam it, and Soul Reaper and calls it off.
2 more. Total of 6 bring Concussion. 10 Undead unscoring. Thank you to the chat for shouting out to us, hopefully you're shouting out nice things to the announcers. We really appreciate it. If you are watching live, please be sure to share on social media that this event is going on so other people who love Derby can watch it too.
13:37, the Riot just blasting the way through the front of the pack, picks up lead jammer for Concussion, while Ohm Wrecker, wearing the star for the Undead, is able to break out of the pack. Riot keeping his eye on Omi, sees Omi approaching the pack, taps those hips and calls off the jam.
Chat showing some love to the refs and NSOs, and they deserve it. We've early in this tournament, but already we're seeing some fine officiating and stat keeping.
We're all just happy that Derby is making its comeback. We all get to do what we love again.
Really is nice seeing a lot of old faces, more and more tournaments and Derby happening around the world.
Ooh, and beautiful jamming there by number 469, Don Juan. Little shoulder dip there under the Undead blockers, picks up lead jammer.
Whoa! Got spun completely out of their skates. Don Juan cycles back. Opportunity now for Shaggy.
Don Juan teasing a little there, kind of hovering over the hips, and then taps him and calls off the jam.
18-0 with no points for the Undead. They're going to look for something to bring them back to life here early in this game.
They've got to get that taste and that hunger for brains and start picking up those points.
Indeed.
All kill jamming again for the Undead, trying to crowd out the Concussion jammer.
Oh, man. Nice Soul Reaper. Puts a hurt on Dr. B, but does not stop him.
No, Dr. B out first, but that was a no pass, no penalty. So that gives All Kill the first lead jammer for the Undead.
Let's see if they can turn this lead into points.
Mike Concho trying to play some offensive work here, trying to open up some holes and get All Kill through.
Dr. B now out as well.
Oh, and it looks like we have an opportunity here. Dr. B headed to the penalty box.
Jam's going to end, but four points for both sides being held. We'll see, of course, Undead picking up 4, taking away their goose egg. Our current score, Concussion 22, Undead 4. Concussion in the black, Undead in the white.
Ohmwrecker hitting a wall of black first, trying to see where this opening is and take advantage of this power start.
Smalls getting sent to the penalty box.
Sounds like that was a direction of gameplay call on Smalls.
Minor pack advantage for, is that another penalty? Yes, it is. This one on Concussion. And Concussion with a pair of blockers in the penalty box.
Ohmwrecker hoping to take advantage of that. Picks up a few more points here. 4 more points for the Undead. While Dr. B has returned to the track.
Lots of penalties being sent out.
Nice work by Tot. Gives Dr. B a little tap as Dr. B tried to jump that apex. Had to recycle to the back of the pack. While Ohmwrecker picks up some more points and calls it off.
So pretty effective for Undead, but they did allow some points. 8 for Undead, 3 for Concussion, bring our score 12-25, but Undead rising to life. We'll see how much penalties affect this game, though, as there was a lot that went to the box there.
Absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of penalties very early in this game. Beautiful teamwork here at the front of the pack by Dozer and Hebrew. Slows up number 16, Juke, but Juke able to break his way out. Picks up lead jam for the Concussion.
Juke Looks to the inside, finds an open lane in the back straight. Skates through and calls it off for 4 unanswered points.
Loose wheel is my favorite kind of blocker. Just clears out that inside line and makes it beautiful, bright daylight for a jammer to just ride on in. I know back in my days when somebody handed me the star, I was not happy about it. And I was like, please, somebody, just clear that inside lane. Let me through. I don't want to be doing this, and it needs to be as easy as possible.
Always a lot easier when your blockers take away that need to fight, allowing you just to skate. But that doesn't mean that you can't. Right here, 13:37 for Concussion. The Riot.
Oh, and this is something I love to see. Hurricane Heather wearing the star. Hurricane Heather, you're going to see some Sammy Davis Jr. style tap dance moves.
Oh, man.
Big hit on Hurricane Heather. Takes it like a champ.
Tommy Gunn just blasting Hurricane Heather there, but great show of sportsmanship, making sure she was okay, helping her back up there.
And Heather just smiling through the whole thing. She's like, it happens.
Bounced back up, took it like a champ, but man, it looked brutal.
Oh, and Don Juan. That was pure muscle just pushing off of Dragon Body. Gets out of the pack first, is your lead jammer for the Concussion. And, you know, Dragon Body is one of my favorite blockers. If you can beat Dragon, more power to you.
Don Juan making quick work of the pack in the front straight. Picking up 4 already, looking to make it 8. Down to the ground goes Juan. Lots of jostling for the position, but the pack has barely moved. Smalls.
That was pure chaos.
It was. Now Don Juan has 8. Smalls in pursuit as both jammers on their scoring run. Jam's going to end there with 2 points for Undead.
Nice work there by Smalls. Smalls is actually one of our most recent additions to the Undead. Has just graduated out of juniors from the Pittsburgh Derby Brats. Love seeing the juniors come up and make a huge impact on the quote-unquote adult teams.
45-14, Concussion leads.
Again, Dr. B there dancing on toe stops, just riding that inside line. Gets out of the pack first is your lead jammer. But number 96, Shaggy, coming up fast. Ooh, beautiful apex jump there, and Dr. B calls it off.
Four more points for Concussion. The team timeout being called by Undead here. back to it as we have Concussion at 49, Undead at 13. Wow. Some fancy footwork there as Juke is the lead jammer in pursuit. All kill for Undead. Jam's going to end there with an additional 4 for Concussion. We'll see if Undead can go from shambling to turn this game into a thriller.
Whoa. And the Riot is just a bull in a china shop. Breaks through that wall.
Like an excited puppy at supper time.
Nothing stopping the Riot. Oh, nice follow-up hit there by Jackson. Takes Riot off the track, but is able to get back up quickly. No pass, no penalty. Picks up 4 points.
Another 4 points.
And lots of penalties being thrown out there, so it looks like we've got a 1-for-1 Dragon Body heading to the penalty box. Along with, is that Tommy Gun? I think that's Tommy Gun there. Whistle starts the jam, and again, we've got number 96, Shaggy, up against Don Juan.
Oh!
Ooh, Don Juan somersaulting into lead jammer.
That's some nice display of gymnastics by Don Juan as the two jammers trade some paint in the front straight. Shaggy overtakes Don Juan, passes back up. Don Juan calls off the jam. Neither jammer picks up any points.
Both jammers trying to take advantage of a full penalty box. Oh, I love when there's a full penalty box and it forces people to use the pivot line. I miss the pivot line. Ooh, big hits here by Soul Reaper on Dr. B.
Of course, all kill is the lead jammer. Undead.
Nice teamwork there by Dragon and Soul Reaper, trying to control and slow down Dr. B. Trying to give Soul Reaper, or All Kill some chance here to pick up points for the Undead.
All kill with 4 points. Let's see if Dr. B can do the same. The answer, yes. Both sides of 4, all kill, trying to make this not a wash. Dirty this up a little bit.
All kill just being a battering ram, trying to get past these blockers, but Tommy Gun staying stiff and strong and pushing him off the track.
4 more for all kill, despite a major pack advantage in favor of Concussion from Lane County. Jam is going to end there. couple of more to the score for Undead. And
I think did that jam actually end at the natural conclusion?
I think so. 10 points for Undead, Concussion with 8, so the advantage there to Undead, but it makes our score 72-23, with Concussion holding a fairly firm lead right now.
Alrighty, and we now have, again, back to a full complement of blockers on the track. 5-on-5, the way it should be. Oh, and beautiful work. Smalls using, oh, no, but Smalls is being called on a cut track.
No. Oh, you hate to see it. Smalls giving up a power jam to Concussion.
Is that
Frecklenator down to the ground. Pops back up and tries to pour on the points for Concussion. Slow spin, picks up 4.
Undead trying to trap some of the Concussion blockers behind them. Oh, big hit there by Hero. And it also looks like that's a cut track on Frecklenator, just as Smalls re-enters the track.
So a complete shift. We'll see if Smalls can take advantage. Down again.
Smalls taking some big hits here. Quick recovery.
Smalls is really having a tough time with this big defense from Concussion.
Smalls wisely passing that star off to Ohmwrecker. But it looks like the jam has expired.
We have an official timeout.
This is a great time again to thank all of our volunteers, our officials, our NSOs, our medics.
Our chat has pointed out that the floor seems to be the 5th blocker.
Absolutely.
Well stated. If the floor ever becomes the jammer, though, then all hell has broken loose.
It definitely looks like we've got the medics there at the Undead bench. Smalls definitely took a bit of a beating there in that jam. So thank you to our medics, always making sure our skaters are safe.
We've got some stellar medics here today as well. Hopefully they won't have to work too hard, but obviously they're here when we need them, and we have needed them a couple of times this morning.
Already that whistle signals back to action. We're getting ready here to start this jam. I believe that's number 16, Juke jamming up against Shaggy. Both walls being solidified. Honcho throwing in that booty directly to Juke.
Wow.
Slows him down, but doesn't stop him. Juke once again lead jammer for the Concussion.
Juke earning that lead status with every ounce of energy and skill he had, and holds that line. Man!
That was Matrix level fighting gravity.
Juke calls it off, but was a man on a mission. The tenacity in number 16, picking up 6 more for Concussion.
We've got a pretty significant lead here by the Concussion with little less than 8.5 minutes in this first half, but in the land of roller derby, that means nothing. The second half can be a completely different bout.
Last time I saw something that got points get bashed around like that, it was on a pinball table.
Riot and Soul Reaper going head to head. Riot just again bulldozes through the pack, is your lead jammer. I feel like Riot just is viewing this as a mosh pit and just not taking names and is getting to the front of the stage.
Oh, and Hebrew gets shown that example as you're making it. 4 more points for Riot.
Hurricane Heather back with the star. Using her fancy footwork, dances around the Concussion blockers, is out of the pack. And Riot wisely calling off the jam before Heather can get to the scoring position.
$90-23, Concussion in the black, Undead in the white. If you're watching us on YouTube, how? Because we're not broadcasting on YouTube. We're on Twitch.
Oh, and if you didn't see it, it happened in a flash. Oh, Don Juan, a lead jammer. Don Juan's just that smooth. Oh, dips under Jackson and calls it off.
Little confusion there as to whether or not the jam was over. 2 points being held high for Concussion.
Nice tight pack here at the whistle. Oh, and
Woo!
Shaggy is actually out on the track as a solar jammer. This is a power jam. Don Juan sitting in the penalty box.
Shaggy narrowly avoiding just getting blasted out of his skates by Photobomb.
Shaggy trying to use those shoulders, chip away into this concrete wall of Concussion blockers. Starts to get a little bit of separation of the pack there, but gets taken off the track, has to recycle to the back. That gives Don Juan time to re-enter the track, get out of the pack, and enter scoring position. Shaggy calls it off, but not before Don Juan is able to pick up a couple points. 4 points for the Undead, 2 for the Lane County Concussion. All Kill seems to get a little bit of a quicker start here than Dr. B, but All Kill taken into the infield, has to reset. Dr. B being controlled by Hurricane Heather, Soul Reaper, and Mr. Sir Guy. I think this is the slowest I've seen any pack move so far this morning.
Indeed. Hopping through Dr. B once again for Concussion. So far, the go-to points getter for this team. However, a star pass allows Hurricane Heather to vie for points herself.
Hurricane Heather, a very accomplished jam skater, tends to use those beautiful dance moves here in her roller derby career. Dances on the toe stops.
Forearm sends one of Concussion to the penalty box, but the jam is going to end there. Both sides picking up points and an official review being called by the Undead. We'll find out what this is all about here in just a moment.
Undead looks like they are making a challenge here. Coach Zora and Captain Pit Bulldozer having a conversation here with our head referee. Each team does have the opportunity to challenge a call. If they win the official review, they get to keep it. If not, they are done for the half. Big thanks to the St. Louis Gatekeepers for this tournament. It's so cool to see the theme of the International House of Derby and all the marketing along that theme and brand. The awards are amazing. The medals are pancakes. I hear that there are some pancakes on the way here. So we are so thankful for the Gatekeepers and this fantastic weekend.
All right. Extra penalty of forearm was looked for there. However, it was deemed that there was no impact on the game from an uncalled penalty, so we continue on as normal. Blasting his way through and becoming the lead jammer, Juke once again. You know, Pinky, I said earlier that Dr. B was the main points getter for Concussion, but I don't know that that's true. They've got at least 2 or 3 big weapons on their side.
Absolutely.
Like, oh yeah, Juke's on there too. This is going to be tough for Undead. as we have just under 2 minutes left in the first half.
And you know, this game is, of course, evident of how important getting lead jammer is. Oh, the Concussion has been in control of that, outscoring the Undead with the percentage of lead jams, using great clock management, team communication, calling it off just in time. Oh, and there you go, Mike Honcho, number 47, turning the tides and getting lead jammer for the Undead. But hot on his heels is Riot.
Jam gets called dead with no points for either side. No, 3 points there for Undead. Our score now 103 to 33. Concussion leads.
All kill, trying to become a one-person wrecking ball. Looking to get a little assistance there from his brother. But Don Juan, so smooth, dips under and is your lead jammer.
Don Juan, like a bull in a china shop, but uses grace instead of brute force to pick up those 4. Glides to 8 like a leisurely Saturday morning stroll.
This is a Saturday morning Oregon skate. He's just rolling around the track.
Oh, and with balancing on one skate into the front straight for 12.
Following the loop-de-loops on the floor. Oh, and there you go. Gave me a spin, a little pirouette out of the pack and calls off the jam.
Just an incredible display. 16 total points unanswered for Don Juan. Welcome back to the second half of Concussion versus the Undead.
Oh, and just like that, we've got Don Juan out of the pack lead jammer. Both of these teams on a mission to score as many points as possible before the end of the game.
The protocol of Concussion so far has allowed them to post about an 80-point lead over Undead. Hard hit there on the end, but another 4 unanswered for Concussion.
And he had to do that with style and flair while floating in the air.
Indeed.
I did not intend for that to rhyme, but it did.
It works. It was time for an unintentional rhyme anyway. $123 to 34. Undead in the white, Concussion in the black. I'm Late Night Lyle alongside Pinky. Don't you dare.
Ooh. Thank you, Late Night Lyle. Late Night Lyle, this has been a pleasure so far working with you. I can't wait for the rest of this weekend. Great start to the day. Fantastic, hard-hitting game that we have the pleasure of calling here right now. Oh, opening there, just jumps right over Jackson. Picks up 4 more points for the Concussion.
Dr. B with another hop in turn 1 as a slow pack. And a quick jammer adds up to a pile of points. 8 so far for Dr. B. Tommy Gunn taking a hit on somebody. I think that was Dammit Janet. 4 more to the score for Concussion, bringing us to 12 total in this jam.
Soul Reaper heading to the penalty box. Unfortunately, Soul Reaper is the jammer of record for the Undead, currently has the star in his hand. So this is a power jam for Dr. B.
He's got the whole star in his hand. Improper pass or no pass, no penalty.
I like a good announcer karaoke time. I can't promise that I will sing well, but I will sing to you.
I will continue to get sillier as this goes on. 4 more, and that's going to bring us to 23 points. And that might be the most points scored in any one jam in this game, not in this tournament. We did have a 28-point jam in the last game.
Both teams fielding a jammer this time, but again, Juke, so quick, just almost turns himself invisible, slides past Tot on that inside line, easily picks up lead jammer for the Concussion. But now Juke has to go up against this amazing teamwork of Jackson, and Dragon Body splits the difference, gets in between Tot and Jackson, and picks up 4 points.
Popping through the defense of the Undead. Juke forces his way to 4, calls off the jam, allows 1 point. But a 7-point gain for Concussion. 8-1 in that jam. 154 to 35 on the scoreboard.
Already, and taking the star for the Undead is Mike Honcho, using that height to his advantage to try to speed as fast as possible to get to this pack. But like Buddha, Don Juan jumps that apex, clears the pack, and calls it off. But it does look like Mike Honcho is able to pick up 1 point to Don Juan's 4. I think that's the fastest I've seen this pack go. Everybody just had fire under their feet and were trying to skate as fast as possible.
We're slowly being turned into freezy pops here, but there is definitely fire under the skates of Concussion.
If they
Certainly
could send
they're
that
jammers.
heat, if they could send that heat our way. Oh, Soul Reaper being called for a high block, heading to the penalty box. So this will be a power jam for Dr. B.
Dr. B on the outside, coming through turns 1 and 2 to be the lead jammer. Jammer for Undead sits in the penalty box, so a power jam. And 4 points so far. Let's see how many Dr. B can rack up here. Oh, man! Just a wicked hit there by Loose Wheel.
And just as Soul Reaper was entering back to the track, big hit by Loose Wheel. Soul Reaper gets caught on the cut track and heads right back to the penalty box.
Wasn't even looking either.
I saw that those crossed arms just as Soul Reaper was hitting the floor. Good eye there by the Concussion and their bench. Sees that Soul Reaper is standing, so we'll still have time in the penalty box. Calls it off so that Concussion can start with a power start.
It will be Juke starting in this power start. And we're going to have an official timeout to put a pause on this jam. 22 and a half in regulation left in this game.
I swear time has slowed down because I thought there was way less left in this half. There's been so much action in these first 8 minutes.
I feel the exact same way. I looked over like, really? All right.
I feel like I had that moment of my eyes just turned to saucers when you said we had 22 minutes still in this half.
Couple of quick hops as Juke is the lead jammer.
So Reaper back out on the track, gets taken down. Has to kind of crawl into the infield to reset properly. While Juke at the front of the pack battling this blood-spattered wall of Undead. He's not afraid to get a little bloody. Bounces off of Jackson, picks up 4 more points for the Concussion.
Juke eats a hit from Jackson.
Juke using the perfect maneuver move there. Totally Juke did a little stomp and then turn on Jackson.
Living up to his namesake, but has to recycle back anyway. Gets some help to come in on the inside line and absorbs a hit from Soul Reaper. Four more to the score as Concussion
Juke
goes up to 8 points so far.
Sorry there, Lau. Juke did a nice little spin maneuver there, but unfortunately went out of bounds, had to recycle back into the pack, and takes a look at his bench and calls it off. Alrighty, it looks like we've got Shaggy now with lead jammer for the Undead. The Undead actually able to slow down and trap Don Juan. And the announcer curse, Don Juan breaks free. Is out of the pack. Ooh,
Oh!
Beautiful, but Shaggy
Man.
lands it. lands it, but is slow to get up and just says, you know, I'm going to call it off. That was a lot of work. I got what I needed. I'm done. Goodbye.
If this were wrestling, that would be a tope suicida.
We have entered into the land of luchador.
We have.
My favorite kind of wrestling. I love when they just leap into the air and flip off of the ropes.
El Shaggy will tope suicida. Muchos locos.
And also a big shout out and thank you to Hit Squad. Always love seeing Lloyd out there taking amazing videos, putting together highlight reels for skaters. If you're ever at a tournament, make sure you pay for a highlight reel. It is worth it. And I hope All Kill picked a highlight reel because that was an awesome picking up of lead. Jammer doing his signature wings, flying through.
You can almost hear the song I Believe I Can Fly going through All Kill's head. Man. A lot of people down there, but a lot of smiles.
I feel like that hurt us more than anybody in that.
We're going to get an official timeout to make sure everybody's okay.
And all of that melee, I totally missed that Riot went to the penalty box. So we do have the Lane County Concussion Jammer sitting, contemplating, having a chance to play over and over again in his head what he did wrong.
Our chat was asking if Concussion team is Mexico. Nope, that's just the announcers having a little bit of fun. And as answered in the chat, Concussion from Eugene, Oregon. Disorder is from Mexico City. They played in the first game and won versus Toronto, and a very good showing there, as Concussion is now versus the Undead.
That first game with Disorder and Toronto, I immediately went, I have a new derby crush. It is all of Disorder. I am in love with that team.
Just over 18 minutes left in the second half.
That's the longest 4 minutes. How does 4 minutes turn into 20?
We've been doing pretty good on time so far. This may change that here. We are scheduled for Toronto to hit the track once again for the second time today against the Gatekeepers this time. That is scheduled to start at 1 o'clock. We will let you know at home if that changes. It probably won't. It's only 3 minutes past noon here, local time.
Already whistle starts the jam. We've got Ohm Wrecker wearing the star for the Undead. This is a power start. Ohm Wrecker trying to battle this wall all alone, but now getting some offensive help there by Pitbull Dozer. Unfortunately, gets taken off of the track, has to recycle behind the pack. Start it all over again. Ooh.
Oh.
That was the most dramatic tap and slow motion fall to the ground.
Almost looked like something you would see in European football. Not quite. Almost.
Ohmbrecker is your lead jammer. While Riot back out on the track. Pushing one-on-one there with Dragon Body. Picks up 4 points, so we've got 4-4. They went head-to-head on that jam. Glad to see some of the Magic City Misfits in the crowd, that they were able to make it here safely. I know some skaters were held up there, flights canceled due to the hurricane out of Florida. Ooh, all kill almost out of the pack. Does get taken to that inside lane, has to go back. While Dr. B, once again, is magic. Appears and reappears at the front of the pack and with lead jammer status. Maybe we should just call him Dr. Strange, using that power.
Will he use his sling ring?
Dr. B and Hurricane Heather decided to have a little sit down there. Both up quickly. Dr. B back out of the pack. Picks up 4 more points.
Additional 4 for Dr. B. Has 8, looks to make it 12. Multiplayer block called on, looks like one of the Undead. That one, number 60. It looks like maybe 66 Hebrew. Hard to tell from my position here. This is a power jam. And another 4 to the score for a total of 16, I believe. Yep. So Concussion goes to 199. Undead sits at 50. Nice hop on the outside of turn 1 for Juke as he takes control.
You know, the beauty of Sport Court, you can hear how hard all of these hits are happening. It just makes me, I hear the stomp and I cringe a little and go, oh, I'm glad it's not me. This is why I retired from being an active skater. I like sitting on the safety side of this table with a microphone in my hand.
Oh, absolutely. This court, though, does make those landings sound so hard. You just feel for those knees every time.
Absolutely. It's like the old-time movie Foley effects, like the horse ka-clop, ka-clop. It's
Yep.
probably not as bad as it sounds, but it sounds really just terrifying.
Especially here at the Apex where we sit, have turns 1 and 2, and wow, dominoes as everybody goes down. Both jammers out, but
Total
it
foot
is
race.
Concussion in control.
Shaggy keeping pace there with Don Juan. Don Juan again. Beautiful little dips. Dip down, zips to the left, zips to the right, gets under Jackson, and calls off the jam.
We're going to get an official review called by Undead now. We'll see what this is concerning. As the score stands right now, Concussion had 4 points. Undead picked up 3. We'll see if that changes after this official review.
Hey, and just a reminder, there's some really sweet merch here at this event. If you haven't already picked up your International House of Derby tournament merch, each of these wonderful teams that have traveled to this tournament have merch available. I know as a member of the Pittsburgh Roller Derby Undead, we have some pretty sweet merchandise. We've got an amazing comic book artist who has designed some really cool shirts for us. So be sure to check that out. I see Arch Rival has some pretty sweet stuff going on over there. I might need one of those beautiful hoodies. Add an extra layer into the clothing because it's freezing over here.
I might as well. But a reminder, no matter how sweet the merch is, do not eat the merchandise. However, if you're diabetic, you can still buy the merch and not have to worry about it.
It is not a snack, but it will make you look like a snack.
Well played.
The kids say something good looking is a snack these days, right?
Yeah, it's a thing. We're young and hip.
Pittsburgh Undead requested a back block against Lane County Jammer. It was determined from multiple points of view that it was side impacts and that the affected blocker actually went down from teammate contact.
So Undead was looking for a penalty, but it was determined that that was not the case, so nothing will change our current score. 210 to 53, Concussion leads.
Both teams again starting out with a full complement of blockers. We got some 5-on-5 going on. Undead still working out, trying to figure out the best way to slow down and control Dr. B. Big hit from Soul Reaper takes Dr. B off the track. Dr. B does come back in behind Dragon Body. Oh, but Dr. B being called, it looks like on a cut track, so this will be a power jam for Ohmwrecker.
Power jam. Opportunity for Ohmwrecker. Omi. Looking at some much needed points for Undead.
So all of Lane County taking on Omi, surrounding Omi, trying to stop the point scoring run that Ohmwrecker had, and just forces Omi to call it off.
And another official review being called by, this time by Concussion.
Not only do the teams have merch, we do have vendors here as well, hawking their wares here in, it looks like, right behind turn 4. Be sure to visit the vendors, spread some of your cash around.
And if you're watching at home, be sure to go to these teams' websites and see if they have any merch that you can buy online to help support them.
Okay, sweet. Lots of discussion happening here amongst the captain and coaches. We've got Coach Crystallized Chaos for the Concussion, along with Coach Zora for the Undead. And look at that, Ninja doing their job as a referee, making sure that a skater, even off the track, is in full gear. Got to follow those safety rules. As soon as those skates are on, get in your gear. Alrighty, that official review was also overturned there. There was nothing seen by the officials, so Lane County loses their official review. We are back to the action.
Both sides ineffective in their official review here in the second half.
And it looks like we had Undead Jammer, Soul Reaper, All Kill, head to the penalty box. Juke out on the track solo, but Juke being called as not lead jammer. Does pick up 4 points.
Completely full graveyard for Undead. As Juke already with 8 points.
All kill back out on the track going one-on-one. It looks like that was with Frecklenator. Is able to pick up 4 points for the Undead. But Juke matches 4-4. Juke trying to call it off, and referee shaking head. No. You can't do that. You not lead. Oh, beautiful apex jump. Lands it, kind of goes down, takes damage, jam it with him.
Juke seems to be okay allowing some points as he allows another 3 there. But at least 20 so far. Looks like 21 in total for Juke. As we still have 8.5 remaining.
Riot back with the star. Riot defying gravity, staying inbounds. Powers through. Foot race there with Shaggy. And it looks like Riot is lead jammer. But Shaggy's actually winning this race. And this pack is flying. As the crowd roars, the pack gets faster. The crowd gets louder, the pack goes even faster. I'm not skating, and I feel like my endurance is being tested here.
It's great to see the crowd both online and here live so invested. Despite us being pretty early on.
Big hit by Soul Reaper on Don Juan. Don Juan off the track, has to head back. Ooh, does a little pirouette there. Almost able to stay in bounds. Heads to the infield, has to recycle again.
Man. Soul Reaper unable to put that last hit. Oh, but it doesn't matter. Don Juan, track cut, going to the penalty box. Opportunity now for Undead as a star pass to the Pit Bulldozer.
I think this is the first that we've seen a star pass to Pit Bulldozer. Dozer, the captain here of the Undead. Also one of the coaches of the Pittsburgh Derby Brats, the junior team back home.
Frecklenator unable to stop Pit Bulldozer as he picks up 4. An insubordination on Soul Reaper. You don't see that very often.
Oh no, we're seeing a track cut here on Don Juan, heading to the penalty box, so this will give Pit Bulldozer a power jam. Oh, nice there. Tries to take Dozer off the track. Dozer bounces off, gets right back on, picks up 4 points for the Undead.
Pit Bulldozer making the most of the penalty problems that Concussion has poured on. 3 more to the score and 15 total points for Undead, courtesy of Kill Bulldozer or Pit Bulldozer. I'm getting the names mixed up.
We just call him Dozer.
I haven't fully woke up yet.
And we are back to the action. Honcho wearing the star up against Dr. B.
Chat giving a lot of love to Dozer in that previous jam, and well-earned love.
Lots of action here in the pack. Both of these jammers not quite figuring their way through the walls. Oh, but El Dorado coming in, creating a split there in that tough wall of Undead. Dr. B out, picks up lead jammer status again. Ooh, big hit from Pit Bulldozer on number 5.
Honcho just blasting his way through.
That was a very dramatic hit and flop. Little stop, flop, and roll there from Honcho. Wow, with just 3 minutes left in this game. The longest half I think I have experienced in quite some time.
Time certainly slowed down for the first 20 minutes of this. Juke looking to add some nails to the coffin of the Undead.
Shaggy out of the pack, kind of touching, looking, maybe had some face contact there.
Jam ends with Undead picking up some points. Both sides with 3, it looks like, and a team timeout called by Undead. Your score 246 to 83, Concussion leads.
Taking a little time out here to make sure that Shaggy is okay. Maybe had a little bit of a nosebleed or lip bleed there. This has been quite an exciting Saturday morning.
Oh, it's a great way to spend a weekend, my favorite way to spend a weekend.
Definitely different than my usual Saturday, just waking up, having a nice cup of hot tea and watching the Great British Bake Off. Trading it this week for my other love, roller derby.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
You've got to have diversity in your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there we go, Riot again. Actually able to seamlessly get through the pack, not having to use normal techniques of just plowing their way through. Easily picks up that lead jammer status.
Jackson missing a block, allowing the Riot to get through. Picking up 4 more to the score. Going to call off the jam, and we will have enough time for another one. Another one.
Always love when I see when we get to have Hurricane Heather here on the track. Hurricane Heather is one of the most positive influences in Derby, always giving high fives and hugs and congratulating the other team despite how hard or vicious the hits are. Just a ray of sunshine.
Don Juan.
All kill, not exactly sure what's happening, what's frozen there. Maybe that was a glitch in the Matrix.
Don Juan not quite able to stay upright. And another spin and fall.
Mr. Surgai giving Don Juan the business. But again, Don Juan dips low, passes all the undead blockers, picks up 4 points.
Don Juan has been an absolute force to be reckoned with.
Ooh, that was almost the splits there. The bench yelling for Don Juan to call it off. And I believe that's the end.
That's it. It was
so anticlimactic.
right. It kind of took us all by surprise. Oh,
yeah.
It's over.
There's been so many ups and downs and this, and then suddenly just quiet lull. Oh.
I was legitimately expecting another
it's
jam.
over.
All right, so this one ends with Concussion with 260, Undead with 85. Concussion wins. Congratulations to both these teams, and congratulations to everyone online watching.
Oh, and then we've got coming up here at 1 o'clock, Toronto taking on the hosts of this wonderful tournament, the St. Louis Gatekeepers.
Be sure to stick around for that. We also still have later this afternoon, Magic City versus Undead.
And then we've got Disorder versus Gatekeepers.
And we'll finish off day one with Concussion facing off against Magic City. So be sure to stick around. Spread the links to watch this with all of your Derby friends.